to stay strong while our kids are home this summer. Welcome back to the Get Strong podcast. I'm your host, Jessie Marchand, speaker, mindset coach, wife, and mama four. And today's episode is all about getting stronger, even in the busy seasons of our kids being home and routines being off, because it is so important that even during summer, we just don't throw all of our routines out the window. Yes, we're traveling more. Yes, we're outside more and we're at barbecues more and parties more and celebrating more. But you also can get strong during the next few months of summer, and you're going to enjoy summer with your kids a whole lot better if you are not feeling bloated, exhausted, burnt out, right? And so we are going to talk about how to create better routines because if you listened to last week's episode, was in a season of needing this reminder too. I was definitely feeling like I was starting to yell at my kids way more than usual and just not having any patience. And yes, our kids can do that to us sometimes. Don't worry, I know that happens. But I also truly believe that when you're not taking care of yourself, it is so easy to have no patience because we are coming from a place of burnout, trying to parent little kids that don't know how to handle their emotions. And that's exhausting. It's exhausting sometimes to be a mother. Like, can we just put that out there that it is exhausting sometimes to be a mom? It is the best gift in the world, but there are plenty of hard moments and plenty of good moments all rolled into one. So this summer, in order for you to continue getting stronger, it's planning ahead and looking at your days of, okay, what is my day going to look like? And yes, having a morning routine that is serving you. And I know right now you might be thinking, but Jessie, I am not a morning person. That comment makes me crazy. And here's why it makes me crazy is because I was you at one point in my life. I always said I'm not a morning person. I bartended and served, so naturally I was up late and I never was getting up early. So I told myself for years, I'm not a morning person. But when I started telling myself that I needed to be a morning person, and not just that I needed to be, but why becoming a morning person was going to help me, and I stuck to it for a month, I saw how much it was changing my life. You right now might be thinking, I'm not a morning person, and that's completely okay. But if you want to have more patience with your kids, if you want to have some time for yourself, if you want to feel stronger this summer, then becoming a morning person can be part of that project of getting stronger. It's getting stronger not only in your body, but also in your mind and changing the thoughts that you have. Whatever you tell yourself every single day is what you're going to believe. And here's the thing. We think 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day, and 80% of those thoughts are negative. 80% of your thoughts that happen in your head every single day are negative. So if you are only working on making your body stronger and not working on the thoughts in your head, you're never going to achieve the goals you really want to achieve. A big part of sticking to a fitness journey, sticking to your health journey, creating more routines that serve you in this stage of life, becoming the mom you want to be, building the business that you want to build. It all comes back to changing the thoughts in your head. Because if you don't believe you're worth it, and if you don't believe you can ever be strong in your skin, then guess what? It's not going to happen. You're going to be in and out of diets. You'll lose weight and you'll gain weight, or you'll have some patience and then you'll be back to it next week. You'll stick to a morning routine for a week and then fall off again because your brain is going to tell you, you can't do this. Remember, you're not a morning person. You are a morning person if you want to be. And it's not that you want to necessarily be a morning person. It's that you want to be stronger this summer. And if you can commit to mornings, you are setting yourself up to become mentally stronger. And it doesn't need to be where you're getting up for an hour before your kids get up, right? I feel like sometimes on social media, it's like these long glorified routines where people are like reading all different books and drinking their coffee so slow outside and getting in a workout and doing all these different things. And I'm like, are they up at 4 o'clock in the morning, or whose kids are sleeping this long, right? And so it needs to be something that just helps you get your day started. So I'm going to share a few things, and they are not all things that you have to do by any means, but pick something to do. Something that you can do is first, know that your kids are not going to wake up at the exact same time every single day. So when you have a morning routine and one of your kids gets up early, remember it's okay to pivot and enjoy that one on one time with your child. And you can always move that morning routine into their nap time or to the evening if you had to. And how do you move that around? Because you're like, hey, that's not the morning, that's in the evening. Well, we're moms and we're human, and our kids are humans, and they don't do everything like clockwork every single day. And if your kids are, you are very blessed, and you should celebrate that every single day. But a lot of times we know a similar time that our kids are waking up every single day. And so, what you can do is move that wake up time like 15 minutes earlier so that you're coming downstairs and maybe you're reading scripture or you're writing down 5 things that you are grateful for, or you're writing down 5 ways life happened for you the day before. This one is so important to me. I know I've mentioned it so many times on this episode or this podcast on different episodes, but it's because I truly believe that it is such a game changer for every single wife, mom, business owner is writing down 5 ways life happened for you. And the reason that I encourage you to write down that is because when you look at your life, you are going to forget a lot of little moments that happen. You're going to forget the little tiny things, like the little hug that your kid came and gave you. We do something at dinner time, and when we're sitting down, if we remember to, we say our prayers as our family, as a family, and then we all go and say what was the best part of our day in a circle. And when we do that, we did it last night. And my best part of my day yesterday was when my son got out of his agility camp and he runs into the gym because it's right next door. They're kind of connected. And he runs into the gym always with a huge smile on his face every Tuesday and Thursday during this camp. And I'm finishing up my last rounds in the workout. And he comes and goes, Mommy, and comes and gives me the biggest hug with the biggest smile. That moment is not about business. It's not life changing, but that moment is such a special moment every single Tuesday and Thursday. But here's the thing. In a few months from now, I will probably forget about that moment. And when I'm struggling in motherhood, when you're struggling in motherhood and you're feeling like, gosh, my kids have been horrible. Gosh, I have no patience. Gosh, I'm so exhausted. Gosh, I can't do anything right. When you're having all those thoughts, your brain is going to tell you, yep, you're right. You're not capable. You're not qualified. You're not worthy. But you can open up your notebook and you can look at all of the pages where you did things right, where you had these little tiny moments where you felt better, where you felt like you were a good mom, where your kids reminded you that you're doing a good job, where your marriage was really strong, where you got in maybe something for your business. Someone sent you a message for that. I know even for my podcast, when I launched this podcast, I was so nervous. And I have had so many times throughout the last year where I started to doubt myself. But you know what I can tell you? Every single time on that day I was doubting myself, not only do I have messages that people have sent me that I can go look at and remind myself there's people listening, there's people who need this, that it's helping people. But also, God is so good in the fact that every single time I'm in that like feeling crappy moment and self-doubt moment, I get a message from someone that says, thank you so much for this episode. I needed it today because I was really struggling in motherhood. I was really yelling at my kids. I was thinking about giving up on that goal. I was giving up on my fitness journey every single time. And I always tell my daughter, like, God did it again and reminded me that my message matters. And you can't always get those messages. It has worked out for every time it has. But I know that won't be the case always. And so on days where I'm like, you know what, maybe I should just give up on the podcast, I can go and look in my notebook and see all the times that people have sent me messages and reshared it and how it helped serve them. And then it reminds me that what I'm doing is helping other people. When you are writing down, hey, I stuck to my nutrition plan today. I'm down 1 pound and I'm so proud of myself. Or, hey, today I didn't want to get in my workout, but I showed up at the gym and I freaking crushed it. You start to build that confidence in yourself and that belief in yourself, and you start to create that version of yourself that you really love, instead of letting those negative thoughts creep in and tell you that you can't do it. So when you wake up in the morning, literally it can take you 2 minutes to write down 5 things. It could be that you and your husband, for me, last night, me and my husband went to Target and it was just us, which hasn't happened very often. And we just got to talk. We parked as far away as we could from the store because I was like, we don't have our kids. We need to milk this. And so we parked far away from the store so that we had extra time to walk into the store and to be in conversation. That was the first time that we really just got to talk for like a full hour between walking around the store, walking in and out of the store, and the car ride. But if I didn't write that moment down, that moment would get passed up. So that's why when you get out of bed and you come downstairs and you write down 5 ways life happened for you, you're not only setting yourself up for success on days that you're feeling unworthy and feeling really lost and overwhelmed and having a book to look back on, but you're also setting yourself up for success that day because you go down and you write down ways that life happened for you, and your mind instantly is set on the route of believing in yourself, of believing in the mom that you are believing that your kids are good, of believing that your marriage is good, of believing that you are doing a good job building that business, going after that dream, crushing your fitness journey. You are setting that tone for the day instead of allowing the tone to just be, I wake up at the same time as my kids and I am running around doing everything for them. Because the truth is, once our kids are up, you never know what the day is going to bring. You might have a really solid plan of how it's going to go, and none of that happens. But if you get out of bed and you write those things down, I guarantee you, you're going to start to see how much more grateful you are for the life that you have, instead of focusing on all the ways life's not happening for you, which again is what our brain is going to do naturally. So getting up, reading scripture, or reading a good book. It doesn't even have to be a personal development. If it's a book that you're just absolutely loving right now, get up and read a few pages of that. But think of it like this. What can you do for your mind to set you up for success throughout that day? Doing something. Maybe I personally do red light therapy every single morning for 12 minutes. And I turn my red light therapy on. I stretch out my body while I'm doing it. I do neck rolls. I do breathing work. And then I sit there and repeat. I know you might be thinking you're weird, but I swear your mind is powerful. And what you do to control your thoughts is the most powerful thing and impactful thing. And so I sit there and I say, I am strong. I am confident. I am a motivational speaker. I am this. And I put it in my head of what I'm doing. I speak my goals out into existence and I speak about myself. I am worthy. I am a good mom. Because when you do that on repeat, you are training your brain early in the morning to believe in yourself and your confidence in your work. And then you go into your day differently. So if you aren't doing red light therapy, that's okay. But could you go and just sit down for a second in the morning and while you're drinking your coffee, say, I am strong, I am confident, I am worthy, I am loved. Can you just do that for 2 minutes? Imagine how different your morning would feel when you just set that tone about who you are as a person, instead of allowing whatever happens with your kids to decide who you are that day. And then I go and write down after my red light therapy, I drink 24 ounces of water because let's get hydrated. I balance out my cortisol levels, which if you guys don't know, as women, we are getting older. Yes, your body's changing, but also you have a choice to change and to pivot what you were doing in your 20s or 30s, because that's not going to work now. Your cortisol levels are highest in the morning. So I balance them out with an element. I put element in my water for 24 ounces and I drink that before I eat anything. So I get my body hydrated. I balance out my stress hormones. And then I go write down my 5 ways that life is happening for me. Then from there, I go into scripture. Now, you might be someone who's just starting a morning routine. And maybe right now, the only thing you have time for is to write down 2 things that you're grateful for. Two ways life is happening for you. And that's okay. Start there with a 5-minute morning routine. where you come downstairs, you tell yourself some positive things so that you're training your brain to believe it, and you write down ways that life is happening for you. And if you only have 2 that day, write those 2 down. Slowly over time, create a morning routine that's longer because you'll start to see the benefits just from writing down 2 things. You'll start to see the benefits for saying affirmations and of building your mental strength before the day kicks in. Kids are home for summer. We are with them 24/7, which again can be a blessing or it can be a burnout season for moms. So taking that 5 minutes to set yourself up for success can change your entire day. And then from there, yes, I'm going to encourage movement. If you have not listened to the episode where we talked about my 3M's framework, it is what I go talk about and give keynotes on. But it is my 3M's framework is literally what I live by. It's movement, mindset, and momentum. Those 3 things done every single day are so important. So deciding when can you get movement in. If your only time to work out is in the morning, doing something, maybe it's just getting in squats. That's the first thing that you're going to start doing. That you come down, you write down 2 ways life is happening for you. You do 25 air squats and 10 sit-ups, right? And then you do your affirmations. All together, you could have that done probably in like 5 to 8 minutes. And you're set for the day. You did something. Now, I'm always going to encourage you as you create those routines to move from just doing a couple squats in the morning to getting in a 20-minute workout, to getting in more movement, because movement is so important in our body. You should be strength training, especially as you get older. It is so important, not only for your mental health, but your physical health as we are getting older, and you are naturally losing muscle mass. And so in order to maintain muscle, in order to gain muscle, you got to be doing something for it. Just saying, oh, my hormones are off. Oh, I'm in my 40s. That's bull crap. That is you just accepting where you're at instead of saying, yeah, I'm getting older, but yes, I'm going to do things differently. And I'm going to take ownership in who I'm becoming. Because when you take ownership, life doesn't own you. You are walking into life and you are owning the life that you have. And we only get one life. And it's important to take care of yourself. It's important to take care of your mental health and your physical health. So what I want for this episode is for you to ask yourself first, what does your morning routine look like while the kids are home? Do you need to start implementing something that's 5 minutes? Just getting up, setting that intention for 5 minutes. Because if that is you right now and you are thinking, I'm not a morning person, I can't do this, I'm going to encourage you to set an alarm for 10 minutes earlier. Lay your clothes out, put on some workout clothes in the morning, go downstairs, sit down and write down 2 ways that life is happening for you from the day before. Think of some affirmations that you currently need, and this is personal to who you are. Because the truth is you might be telling yourself that you are ugly every single day when you look in the mirror. So you need to be working on changing those thoughts. Where there might be another listener who's telling themselves that they are a bad mom right now. And right now they need to be building their mental strength, reminding themselves that they are a really good mom, that they are doing the best that they can. Maybe you're struggling in your marriage right now, and one of your affirmations needs to be, I'm learning how to communicate better with my spouse. I'm learning how to show my spouse affection better than I was before. Affirmations do work. But here's the trick with affirmations, is I think when you are doing affirmations, sometimes it can feel like they're not working, right? You're like, I feel ugly every time I look in the mirror. Now I'm just telling myself, I'm so pretty. But something that I think helps is when you write down your affirmation or you say it out loud, instead of just saying, I am pretty, right? I love that I'm learning to love myself in this season. I love that I'm learning to love how God made me. If you're struggling financially, I love that I'm learning how to build a business that can help my family's financial situation. Again, you're taking ownership of your thoughts. You're not allowing your thoughts to take ownership of you. You have to change your thoughts in the morning. And I know this because if you listened to my episode last week, I was the mom a week ago that was like, my kids are not listening. I was yelling all the time. I felt completely burnt out. I felt like I was repeating myself 500 times a day. And I literally, this is so embarrassing, but I'm just going to be real and honest with you. I was standing upstairs and I had told my kids to do things 50 million times that day. And then finally I was like, Frankie, where are you? And I'm like, why is no one listening to me? And I yelled it. And then my son started crying and he's like, Mom, I'm in my room. I am listening to you. And I felt so bad. And in that moment, I was like, it's not them. It's that I'm not doing what I need to do. And I'm like just impatient right now because it's hard. It's a hard mom day. But when it's a hard mom day, if you didn't do anything for yourself, it makes it even harder because you're exhausted, you're burnt out, you're overwhelmed. Well, guess what? That's not setting you up for success to go parent other people that don't know how to deal with their emotions when they're 2 years old or 7 years old or 17, right? So just remember that when I am sharing mindset tips, it's because you truly do have to change the thoughts in your head in order to change your life, in order to see your goals or your dreams come true, but also in order to just have good days where you can have more joy and happiness, you have to change the thoughts in your head and you have to create some sort of sustainable routine in the mornings. So really fast to recap on that. If you are new to a morning routine, what I want you to do is set your alarm so that you have 5 to 10 minutes where you come downstairs, you say, write down 2 ways that life is happening for you from the day prior. And it can be the littlest things. I love that some of the things are so incredibly tiny because it helps me hold on to little things that we would forget in a couple of months. Then you're going to either write down or sit and say them out loud, your affirmations for the day. I am strong. I am learning to love my body. I am learning how to stay on track with my nutrition goals. I am getting in circles that empower me. I am removing myself from negativity. I am learning how to build the business. I am feeling more confident in my routines. I'm learning how to become a morning person. If you're currently telling yourself you're not a morning person, then that is a perfect time to, in your affirmation, say, I love that I'm learning how to become a morning person so I can become my strongest self. So I can become a more patient and strong mom in motherhood. That's going to set you up for success during the day. And then remembering to do something for movement. And you might not be able to get in movement in the beginning, but even if you can't, if you're only doing the 5 to 10 minutes, do 25 burpees. No, sorry, not burpees. Do 25 air squats. If you're really feeling challenged and you want to go after, do 25 burpees. But just starting off, do 25 air squats. You guys, that will take you literally a couple of minutes and you're done. And that morning routine, you will see, if you trust me on this, how much that morning routine will go and change your days if you consistently stick for it. Give it 4 weeks of sticking to it every single day. Also, as I say every single day, I want you to know it won't happen every single day. So being mindful of that when you miss a day, don't just throw in the towel. You're not doing this for perfection. You're doing this to create more better routines over time. And not every day is going to be perfect because we are human. We have kids that wake up at different times and that doesn't always happen. But if you are not able to get it done in the morning, then move it to nap time. Once you get your kids down for your nap, go sit down and write down 2 ways that life is happening for you. Say your affirmations, do the 25 squats, and then go on with your day. At night, if you didn't have a second all day, then do it at night. Move that morning routine block into whatever part of the day it needs to. Maybe it's giving your kids 10 minutes of screen time, whether it's in front of a TV or an iPad, but it's 10 minutes so that you can go do that. And then as you have that routine, build off of that. As you see that, wow, in the last month, I started doing these things and it's changing how I show up every single day. And it's helping me mentally, it's helping me physically, it's helping me emotionally, it's helping me in motherhood, it's helping build my confidence. As you start seeing all those things, it's a lot easier to build off of it and then to start creating, hey, now I can get in a 20 or 30 minute workout. Plus, write down ways life's happening for me and my affirmations. And now I can add in red light therapy. Now I can add in this. And before you know it, you're building off of the small little habits and the small little routine you created that only took 5 to 8 or 10 minutes. You built off of that. And now you are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. The goal is to become your strongest self, changing your thoughts in your head and changing your routines so that they serve you. It is never too late to create better routines so that you become the strongest mom and wife that you can be. In order to change your life, you got to change the routines. I hope you have an amazing week, and I am so excited for the month of July and to continue empowering you to grow into becoming the strongest version of yourself.